G'day. 6 months in, hard to believe really that I made my first video 6 months ago. Where does the blinking time go? It's just gone. Closed my eyes and 6 months down the track, so I thought I'd pause, take stock of where I am and have a bit of a think about what comes next, and I guess say thank you to everyone that's subscribed and watched my videos. I've really enjoyed messing around down in my room and making them. The partner in crime there hasn't been a big help really, but apart from that, it's been a lot of fun. I thought I'd go through the figures of what I've managed to paint. Before I started the channel, I'd sort of slowed down on my painting, but getting some figures on the table and playing a few games and making videos has got me enthused again. So I've been doing a bit, nothing in the realms of what you see Don or Basement 1908 put out. Those guys are machines. They're painting machines. I don't know how they do it. And my work's been really busy lately, so hobby time is limited. So I think I've got no script for this. I thought I'd just go through what I've managed to accomplish in the last 6 months and maybe talk about what's coming up. But I hesitate to say a plan because I kind of roll with the dice. Well, I just get some figures out and go, I fancy a game of that, so I'll have a crack at it. I'm easily influenced because I watch a video on YouTube and go, wow, that game looks pretty cool. I'm going to have a crack. Anyway, so let's start off with my Greeks. I've managed to paint 3 bad horse. So there's my bad Greek horse there. Bad horse and Triumph, the rules I play are just like inferior cavalry. So I've painted 3 of those. I've got a bit of stuff all over my hands. I'm doing some scenery at the moment. So I'm quite pleased with those. My paint jobs are pretty simple. I do pretty basic paint jobs. My eyes aren't the best anymore, but I'm quite pleased with how those come up. So that's my bad horse. I've also managed to complete 3 Jav Cav, which are kind of like light Cav and other rules, I guess. So that's my Greek / I'll use them for Italian cavalry as well, I'm guessing. That's mainly for my army, for my Syracusan / any other Greek army, really. They've come up all right. They're little big man's transfers, and all the figures are Aventine, which I really like. They're really a solid figure brand, those guys. Then we have 4 stands of skirmishers, two guys to a base. I think those are Crusader figures. I don't think they're Aventine. I think I got those from Crusader. Yep. Excuse me, grubby. This my turntable's me grubby fingers. Busy trying to make a river at the moment. It's not going well. I'm getting more of the river on my hands than I am getting on the scenery piece. But that's those guys. Then we have a couple of light foot. These are also Crusader miniatures, I think. Yeah. So they're just the light contingent for my army. And then the last bit in that army is 12 stands of unarmored hoplites. Well, there's one armored hoplite stand there, which can be in the Syracusan army. They get heavy infantry and spearmen are 2 different classes, so I'll use those as spearmen when I'm using them in my Syracusan army. I think there's a battle report floating around where they get absolutely slaps 7 ways or sideways by the Romans. But yeah, those are all Aventine. Those are all Crusader figures again. And so that's pretty much a complete army with options for Triumph. Again, I won't win any painting awards, but I think they've come up all right. So that's army that's complete with a couple of options point-wise, because you only need 48 points for an army, and that gives me 6 cavalry stands, 3 rubbish and 3 okay ones, 12 stands of heavy infantry, one of which can be classed as a spearman, 4 Saloy and 2 light foot. And of all the figures I bought for the army, there's just 4 left to paint, 4 more heavy spearmen that are sitting in the pile of shame because I haven't got transfers for them yet. But they're on the painting table, so I might just try and crack them out just so they don't go into the pile of shame. Let's take a look at the next army. So with my Second Punic War campaign, I wanted to fight a few big battles, so I've been adding a few figures to my Celtic army. So there you can see I've added 2 bases of Bad Horse and a base of Rabble. I love Rabble. A base of Rabble. So again, these are all Crusader. The shields pretty dodgy. They're all hand slapped with my shaky arm. But again, they've come up. I think that guy there's a German. He just came in visiting the Celts and then decided to move in. So I've added those to my army. I've also added 3 stands of, I think these are warriors. I get confused with warriors and warband. They're the lighter version of the 2. So these are just sort of 3 to a base and they're naked. That's how I tell them apart. Again, all Crusader miniatures and little big man transfers, but the problem with that is they don't really do ones that fit the Crusader Celts shields. So the shields are actually from A&A miniatures because the transfers fit those. Next up, I also added 8 bases of heavy infantry to my army. Those are the warriors. I want to say warriors. They could be warband. I think they're warriors. They're 4 to a base. So I think all up I've got like 19 stands of those now. So I can't quite field a triple army, but I can field a double army. Yeah, again, these are A&A shields with Crusader miniatures with dodgy painting and dirty fingers. So that's those boys. The last ancient stuff I've been working on is pikemen for Philip of Macedonian army, because at the end of the Second Punic War he had allied to Hannibal, so I'd like to squeeze in a battle with those boys, especially since there's been some rule changes and they've got a bit of a boost, those pikemen boys. I wouldn't... they're not historically painted correctly. I just chose colours I like and painted them that way. I mean, I don't think any Macedonians were rocking around in German field grey, but I quite like the look of them. So, you can't really see. It's just the turntable. Yeah, I'm okay with those. So I've just made a start on those. Next up, we have the 71st Scots. Yeah, Highlanders. For my AWA, you've probably already seen them in the battle report. 2 of those stands you can't count because they've been sitting in purgatory for quite some time, waiting for me to complete the army. I think I did my usual trick and I ordered the wrong command. I ordered command in trousers and I really wanted them in kilts. So I've sorted that out and finally got motivated and finished those off. They're not the tidiest. Don't come up here, cat. Don't come up here. No, they're not the tidiest, but you're a bugger, cat. They're not the tidiest, but I'm happy enough with them. Let's get the turntable and give them a spin. So yeah, it's those are, it's a 36-man unit or 35 because I think 36. It's all Perrys, so they're pretty cool. This is a pretty mixed bag. This is all Perrys again. The 2 front I added to my French battalion, so just 2 stands of that made it up to a 6-stand unit. I'm trying to build them all up to 6 stands slowly so they come out, and then I added a stand to Hartley's boys to get them up to 6, and then these are Hessians, the last one, which also bought those guys. So the turntable's gone wonky, which also brought those guys up to 6. So they've come up all right as well. So that's those guys. Then we have some 40mm stuff from Trident. there's a cart and his driver. I painted up that for that skirmish game. There's also, I'll see if I can put a link to that game. So it's had its first run on the table. I really like these figures. I like the size. I can actually see what I'm doing. But yeah, it's come up all right. And I sort of made this removable so you can either have your, oh, you can't see it. Come on, turntable man. So that's removable so it can either go in there or come out if someone nicks it. I've got the little canopy for it, I just haven't painted it. It's in the pile of shame. But yeah, those have come up all right. Next, I made some fences for my 40mm guys. You can see there, hopefully got the scale right. Just made some simple fences to help when I do another skirmish game or sharp practice. The first one I made with a square flat edge, but I forgot. Usually what I do is I make them with the, I don't see if you can see that, with a triangle edge, so that when you do a right angle like that, they sit nice and close together. So I've made, I don't know, what's that, 2, 4, 6, 8 sections so far. I'll make a few more, but yeah, they're very basic and not the flashiest, but I think they add to the look of the table. Next up, I've made some reeds just for scattered terrain. I've worked out a pretty easy way of making those. They come together really quickly. So as I say, I'm working on a river at the moment, so I think they'll look quite good along the line of the river. And they're quick. I've bought a couple more packs. I think those ones are from Nock or Sonic, and I've bought some packs. Oh, I don't know, some different ones, but they're a bit hairier. So, and they're 2 different colours, so I might have another crack and see how they come out. But I'm pretty pleased with those. I think you can get away with either scale for those guys. Either way, they look pretty good. So yeah, pretty pleased with those. So I just banged out a few of those. Next up, I based up a few trees. They've come out all right. I've got a few single bases, and then a bunch on multiple bases. Just if you're going to play American Civil War, you need trees and more trees and trees and trees and trees. And my old pine trees, which I really like and prefer because they're a darker colour and they're just kind of better. They're showing the signs of age now. They've done 20 years of hard campaigning, so you can see there at the top of that someone's been picking it up by the top. Someone's been picking it up by the top one too many times, and it's pretty knackered now. So I prefer the shade these ones are. It's a nicer green, but when you're ordering offline, you can't really tell sometimes. So you've just got to go with it, really. But I'll probably. So once I save me pennies and get my budget back under control, I'll probably buy another pack or 2, just so I've got some fresh trees. I'm not 100% sure about my basing. I think it needs a bit more undergrowth on it, but they're done. Tick the box, put them aside, and then if I need to add a bit more grass, once I make a few more tufts, I'll do that. Next, we have these 2 buildings. I've had these for years and they've been painted, but when I did my Ikmal battle, I needed a little town, and originally all the bricks were just painted white. It was a pretty horrid paint job, and so I gave them a little bit of a tart up, painted the bricks a different colour. I painted this in brown, and they came up quite nice. There's a bit of story behind this. They came up nice, quite better than they were, let's just say that. And that got me thinking. I've been watching, I can't remember his name, the English guy with his dog. He's been buying a lot of hovel buildings, and he got me keen, so I bought a whole bunch. I ordered a whole bunch of hovel buildings, and they all came in And the wife caught me unpacking them. And she was saying, oh, someone's got some presents. And I said, yeah, it's my present to myself for getting 500 subscribers. But I haven't got 500 subscribers, not even close. And she goes, oh, that went up quickly. And I said, well, I haven't got 500 subscribers, but this is exactly the sort of present I'd buy myself if I got 500 subscribers. So she kind of bought that and I got away with it. But yeah, I bought all those. This one, if you've seen my Civil War, this has already been in the battle report. This bad boy, I quite like it. Two chimneys is better than one. Double the fire. And now this one here, it goes together. Here we go. This is going to be a challenge. It goes there. It goes there. That goes there. Let's do it this way. It goes together, something like that, and it has a barn out there and on this side and a wall on the others, but I don't have that at this stage, but I do have a wall like that. And I'm thinking, if I just put that in there like that, it makes a primo built up area. I will eventually buy the other wall, buy the set of walls that goes out here, and I will buy the big barn. But at the moment, that's just a real nice size for a built up area, and it just looks really good. My only question is, and if someone knows the answer, it has these windows. You can see them chopped off there. I don't know if that's meant to represent that there was a basement that went into the ground, but it's a really bizarre thing to have on that building. I don't know quite what that is. I'm almost tempted to slap plaster over it and cover it up. I think it's on the other side as well. I think you can just see it there. It's like it's meant to be another story on it, but that's not what it is. So I'm not sure what the answer is. It's a mystery. The aliens did it. Who knows? But yeah, I'm really pleased with that building. I like the hovel stuff for Napoleonics because you generally can't remove the roofs, but the footprint was designed for 25, I think. So the footprint is a lot smaller. So I kind of like when you're doing a town, it doesn't take up half the board and look out of scale. So the footprint's quite good. Whereas for my World War II stuff, I use, I can't remember what the manufacturer is now, but their stuff has removable roofs and it's a bigger size, so you can fit units inside it, which works for skirmish games. Whereas I think the small footprint works better for Napoleonics. Anyway, that's probably all I cracked out in the 6 months. I've got a few other things on the burner, but nothing finished. So not a great deal, but I'm kind of pleased with the progress. It was a heck of a lot more than I was doing at the start of the year before I started this channel. So all in all, a good show. Anyway, I've probably waffled on enough. If you're still hanging in there, thanks for watching. And I might do another update every so often, every 6 months or something. Plans-wise for the channel, I don't have any. I'm just going to roll the dice and follow those just mainly concentrate on battle reports. I'll do the odd update like this. I don't think I'll do any painting or terrain tutorials. My painting and my terrain's not that flash, and B, there's a million videos out there doing it already that can do it 10 times better than I can do it. So I really want to just concentrate on having fun and playing games. So yeah, well, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and next one we'll hopefully get the Romans. I'm waiting for just a couple of stands to finish off my Romans before I have a big slapola with the Celts. But that's coming up soonish, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Waffle, waffle. All right. All the best. Cheerio.